I am Vibhor Gupta, an AWS and Microsoft Azure certified cloud professional. I am a passionate cloud solutions architect and services advisor. Root user is created with the account, so it has unrestricted access and can do whatever is possible. While creating account for your users within your organization or your development team, it is a best practice to restrict their access and give them access to only limited resources that they will be working on. In this video, we are going to discuss and create different IAM identities such as users, groups, roles, and policies. We are also going to create an admin user with full access and a developer user with limited access. Let's log into AWS console. If you do not have AWS account and want to create your AWS account, then you can view my video on how to create AWS account. You will find link to the video in the description. Console and log in using your root user credentials. IAM or Identity Access Management is a global service. This means users are created at a global level and they can choose any region to configure resources. Let's move to IAM service. You can look for it in all services or you can directly search it over here. So this is how your IAM dashboard looks like. If you see over here, we are not able to select any region as IAM is a global service. Now, the first thing that we will see over here is the sign-in URL for the IAM users. By default, it has the account ID of the AWS account. We have an option to edit that and customize based on the name of our application or leave it as it is. To customize, click on the Customize button. For this demo, I am going to keep it similar to the name of my account, that is Vibhor AWS Architect. And click on Create Alias. You may get an error that the alias is already taken as it needs to be unique throughout the AWS global network. Now, if you see, your account ID has been changed to the name of the app or to the alias that you have chosen. Now copy this URL and save it in some safe place or bookmark it for future use. Before proceeding further, if you like the content of this video, please like the video and press the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel and enable all notifications as it will notify you whenever I am creating new and useful content on cloud and also motivate me to create it often. Let's move further. So in the access management, we have four important fields: user groups, users, roles, and policies. So the first thing that we have is user groups. Groups are used for grouping users with similar access rights like developers, QA, or system administrators, and so on. All these different type of groups require different access. For example, developers will require access to create the resources, whereas QA will not be creating any resources. Someone auditing the infrastructure would require read-only access and not the full access of the cloud environment. The second thing that we have is users. These are the individual users that require access to AWS resources. Now the next thing that we have is roles. To understand roles, you first need to understand that AWS services can talk to each other. For example, an EC2 instance or our virtual machine can copy any data into S3 bucket. But to copy data, EC2 instance needs access to S3 service. So we need to create a role for EC2 instance to access S3 service. Roles are also used to grant access to uncertain number of resources. Suppose we need to give access to our mobile application user, so we will not create individual users for each of them. In fact, we can only have a maximum of 5,000 users at the time of creating this video. So an app user will come to the application, assume a role for the duration and perform the required tasks I hope by now all these three type of identities are making more sense. Now let's move to the another important aspects, that is IAM policy. It's a document that defines access to AWS account. It either allows or denies access to AWS service. Now in this demo, we are going to create our first user with full administrative access. So click on users. Right now we do not have any user. So we'll click on add user. Now it will ask for the username. So username is full admin access. So you can give your own name or you can give the name of the resource who will be your full admin access. Now in access type, we have two types of access. Programmatic access, that is for CLI and API login, and we have management console access, that is the graphical user interface access. That is what we are doing right now. So for this, we are going to give programmatic access as well as AWS management console access. Now we have to select password. So we have auto-generated password and custom password. If you are creating this account for someone else, like your developer or your QA, so it is a best practice to click on auto-generated password and AWS will send them an email notification. Since we are creating this account for ourselves, so we will choose custom password. Enter a safe password over here. Now, require password reset is used if you are generating auto password and you want that the user should change the password at the time of login. Since we are defining our own password, so we can uncheck this box. Click on next permissions. By default, there is no access given to an AWS user, and we have to explicitly give access to the service we want user to access. We have three options to give access. The first one is groups. We will use this for creating our developer account. The second one is copy permission from existing users. Since we do not have any user, so we can't use this option at this moment. And the last one is attach existing policies directly. If you remember, we discussed that IAM policies are used to give access or deny access to AWS services. So we are going to choose this option. Now we can see there are different type of policies automatically created by AWS. Each policy represents different type of access to different type of services. Since we want this IAM user to have the full administrative access across the AWS account, so we will select administrative access. So the first option is administrator access. Now if we will expand this policy and we will click on the JSON, so we can see over here that this policy has three parameters: affect, action and resource. Affect is allow access or deny access. Action is what can be done on the resource, and start means everything can be done. Resources defines the name of the resource on which action and effect will be performed. Over here, star means all resources. Let's now click on next tag, next review, and then create user. So AWS has generated access keys for programmatic access and password for control access. We can also send an email to our developer directly from here. Just like username and password, it consists of two parts: access key ID, which is similar to username or the public part, and the secret access key, which is just similar to your password, and it should not be shared with anyone. If you share this with anyone, then your account credentials are leaked and anyone can log into your account. We have an option to download CSV, and this option is only shown one time. So we have to save this file somewhere safe. I don't need to access this account via CLI, so I am not storing these credentials. Let's click on close. And now our full admin access account is created. We will now log in via this account. Go to dashboard and then you can copy this URL. So let's log out from this account. Paste the URL. Now if you see, we have another field which will either have our alias or account ID. Now in place of root user, we have to give our IAM username. So my IAM username is full admin access and the password. Click on sign in. Now you have to go to security credential and enable MFA for your admin account. If you don't know how to enable MFA or multi-factor authentication to secure your account using two factors, first one being the password and second one being the security code using an MFA device, then watch my video on how to create an AWS account and you will learn best practices for creating your highly secured AWS account and configuring billing alerts. Link is there in the description. Now, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel if not already done so. Let me go to the My Security Credentials and show you where you can enable your MFA. So here you get the option to enable your MFA. If you see, your access keys are present over here. The option to download them is only shown once. Suppose we have accidentally deleted it or we have lost our key, then we can make them inactive and delete them. So I will just copy the access key ID over here and I will click on delete. And now I can create another access key. And then it will again give me the option to download the CSV file. Now we have to create an account for the developer, but let's suppose we are not sure at this moment that how many developers are going to work on our application. So rather than attaching policies to the user, we will create a group for developers, attach policies to it and add developer to the developers group. This will be easy to manage in the future. We just have to add or delete policies from one group even if we have 5 or 10 developers working on our application. So click on user groups, create a group and then add the name of the group. If we have already created our user, so we can directly add our user over here. But we have not created any user for the development part, so we are not going to do this right now and we will do it later. Now we have to attach policies. Let's assume our application requires developers to work on S3 storage service, EC2 virtual machine and RDS for database access. If you are not sure about the architecture of your application, then you should verify this with your development team. So we will give them below access, S3, full access, and then EC2, full access, and then RDS is for database, full access, and then IAM. For IAM, we are only going to give read-only access. With this, the user will be able to view users and group in IAM service but will not be able to modify anything. And they will also be able to control their login credential and also rotate them regularly. So we have IAM read-only access. And now we will click on create group. So our group has been created and it has 0 users. Let's click on it. We can directly add or remove users from here. Click on permissions. If in the future we want to change any policy, we want to add any policy, or let's suppose remove any policy, then we can directly do it from here. Let's now go and create user for development. Click on users, add user. Let's take an example of developer 1. Now we are going to allocate this user to the group, and we are not going to attach any policy directly. Click on next tag, next review, and then create user. Again, we can download CSV file over here, but since I am not going to log in via CLI, I am not downloading it. Few things to remember over here as a user can be a member of multiple groups. For example, your tech lead is also a member of developers group, QA group, and IAM admins group. The second thing is a user can have multiple policies attached to them, one from the group and one directly attached to the user. Suppose one of our developer is also monitoring the accesses and access log or APIs, so we can directly attach a policy of CloudTrail with that developer or user. For this example, I am going to create a developer user and associate it to the developers group. So I will just copy my URL, click on dashboard, copy the URL again, click on sign out, click on log back in. Let's see, do we see our, okay, the account ID is missing. I can enter my account ID over here. Vibhor AWS Architect. My IAM user is developer1 and my password. Click on sign in. And now we have logged in via our developer account. You can confirm it from here. Now let's see what all access do we have. Let's first click on Route 53. So it says, sorry, you do not have sufficient permission to execute this action. That means we do not have access to Route 53. Let's go back and let's say IAM. If you remember, we have given the read-only access to this user. Let's try and create a user group and see if we have access or not. User groups. Create group, and then the name of the group, let's say QA testers, and then I am going to give, let's say, EC2 read-only access and just create group. So it says that I am not authorized to perform this action. The reason is that I just have the read-only access and not the create access. We have given full access of S3. Let's go to S3 and create a bucket. So click on create bucket. Give the name to your bucket. This name should be unique. So you may get an error if you are using a very common name. So you can customize it by entering some numbers in the end. And then click on create bucket. So our bucket is created. That means we do have full access of S3 service. We have completed all the topics for this video. In this video, we have created a full access administrative account for ourselves such that we do not use root account for daily operations. We have created developers group and provide them limited access to AWS services. These services will depend on the architecture of your application. And then we have created a developer user without any access and added it to the developers group. In this way, you can create different groups for QA, IAM admins and other type of users based on the architecture of your application. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching my video.